Welcome back to QHSCcompanion.com videos. Today we'll address a subject that's, a very important tool that you can use within the Six Sigma analysis of your process or your service. And this tool called the Kano Analysis, and especially used when you do a DMAIC methodology, concept to understand your process or you understand your service. It's one of the tools. It's not only tools. What it does, it understand your customer preferences and then prioritize those needs and features to meet that customer preferences. So it's a very powerful tool if used properly. As you can see, we in Kano Analysis, it's significant in product development and customer satisfaction. Kano Analysis is a technique that's used to categorize customer preferences into three categories: the must-have, the one-dimensional, and attractive attributes. As I said, there are three components to these techniques. The components are, the must-have, which is a feature that are expected by customer as a basic requirement. And then you have the one-dimensional feature, which is directly impact the customer satisfaction in a linear manner. And then the third one, which is attractive, which is actually a feature that surprise and delight the customer, often exceed his expectation. So let's address the basic concept behind this DMAIC. What is exactly the basic concept? First, customer satisfaction. That's the goal. We define how Kano Analysis can help in achieving customer satisfaction by categorizing features. Customer satisfaction is not solely based on meeting expectations, but also exceeding them, which is addressed by attractive attribute. And the other one, it's customer needs. We highlight here the customer need because it's very important. When you understand customer need and it's crucial for creating product or service that will align with the market demand and preference, then you are on the right track of understanding your customer. Now we will go and see how does it look like that Kano diagram. As you can see from this visualization, we have three zones. We have this zone here, which is the must be, and then we have the middle zone, and then we have this third zone, which is the delighter. On this three zone, we can describe, what does it mean. For example, here, as you can see, those zone, as I said, you have must-have attribute. This is this zone here. Those must-have attribute are the one that expected, as a quality, but having them will not increase the customer satisfaction, but not having them will decrease the customer satisfaction. And then you have the middle zone, which is desired quality, and desired if they are there, but if not there, it's okay. Like you buy an AC, but the AC doesn't have a remote control on it, but it's still working, you can use the knob. And the third one is the delighter, which is actually excited quality that exceed customer even expectation. Those are the three categories we'll be addressing here. As you can see, the must-have, as I said, is an attribute here. Prevent dissatisfaction when present, but do not necessarily increase satisfaction when improved. And then we said the one-dimensional attribute directly correlate with satisfaction. The better they are, the more satisfied the customer is. And the third one, the attractive attribute, it creates customer delight when present, but do not cause dissatisfaction. Now let's develop a Kano diagram, so this way we can actually understand what exactly involved in this issue. First of all, you need to identify customer needs. That's very important, because you cannot just create something like from the air. As I addressed that in one of the videos, voice of the customer. This is very important. Okay, and then after you identify customer needs, and then you come to categorize that needs into Kano model. Remember, 3 categories: the must-have, or the dimensional, the excited, or the exceeding, which is the third part. And then prioritize those features. Which one comes first? Of course, the must will have to be the first, then the dimensional will be the second, and then the excited will be the third. Then you implement those changes within your system in order to achieve the goal you are looking for. So now let's have an example for each of this category. For example, we'll address first the must-have attribute. The must-have attribute, as we know, without them, the customer will certainly be dissatisfied. The customer waits for them and demand that they are present. They are characteristic intrinsic to the product or service that you give your customer. Without them, which will be considered extremely not satisfactory to your consumer. For example, in the product process, in a manufacturing safety feature, like an automobile, for example, seat belt, it's a necessary. You cannot say, I'm gonna have a car without a seat belt, or airbags. They are considered must-have attribute. For service provider, let's say for a software service provider, basic functionality such as logging, logout functionality is a must-have attribute. Every restaurant, for example, has to be clean and hygiene. Without it, this availability, no customer will be satisfied. So neglecting those needs, the must-have attribute, can lead to a severe dissatisfaction and potentially, of course, harm the reputation of the product or service. So this is the part of the must-have, mandatory characteristic. Okay, now we will address the dimensional attribute. What are they exactly? They are, for example, in the product process, for example, in smartphone manufacturing, battery life is a one-dimensional attribute that directly impacts customer satisfaction. So the better the battery attribute, the better the battery life is, the more the customer will be excited. And for example, in the service provider, for a restaurant, for example, food quality and taste are one-dimensional attribute that significantly affect customer satisfaction. The better the quality, the better the food selection, the more you will make, customer satisfied, and then that will increase the footprint into your location. And it's very important that, discuss in a meeting customer expectation on one-dimensional attribute lead to customer satisfaction. And improving the one-dimensional attribute can lead also to increase customer loyalty. And that's exactly what you are looking for as a business, and a positive word of mouth recommendation for your business follow up. And that's, one of the key elements that we all looking for. Now, let's discuss the attractive attribute and how they affect your business. And those are the third dimension, the third zone. This attribute, or category, attractive attribute, it's a feature, that if it is available, what's gonna happen? It will surprise your customer. It will make him very happy. Something, new. For example, self-parking technology car. That's something, amazing. If it's not there, it's not going to, hurt the customer. But if it is there, it will add value. Let's say for production process in automotive industry, innovative feature like self-parking technology are considered attractive attribute. For service provider, let's say for a hotel, personalized customer service example, remembering guest preferences, from previous visits. It's also an attractive attribute. The customer will take it into consideration when he wants to book for a hotel in the future. You have to set yourself apart, by fostering loyalty of your customer, because that's very important. You have to incorporate those attractive attributes which will give your business a competitive edge and foster customer loyalty. That's what makes the difference between you and others. So now the three categories has been explained thoroughly, each one what it can deliver and what it cannot deliver, and how that it's impacting the customer satisfaction rating. So now let's have for example DMAIC phases and how we can apply that Kano into those DMAIC phases, as we all know. Now we can actually see how we can use the Kano analysis and implement it as a part of our DMAIC study, which is part of Six Sigma, as we explained before. DMAIC, as I said, it's a methodology used, in phases to understand your process or your service. It has a defined phase, a measure phase, an analyze phase, an improve phase, and control phase. It's a way that provide a structured approach for quality improvement project. With Kano analysis playing a key role in that, you will understand your customer needs more easily. And that's why we will introduce the Kano analysis within the DMAIC phase. Kano analysis integration into a case study will help us also to define, the customer requirement, then take those requirements and prioritize them, the features of those requirements. Then we'll measure customer satisfaction, also will guide us to improve our effort and monitoring quality control within our subject. Of course, the best way to do it is to have a case study. A case study, will make us understand the subject more easily than just, having a theory without an evidence. So in this case study here, we will introduce, customer satisfaction, how it can be achieved using DMAIC and using the Kano tools within the DMAIC process. What will be our objective here within that? Here we try to enhance customer satisfaction in a software company. So the first phase within the DMAIC and how we can integrate the Kano analysis into it is the define phase. In the define phase, the first thing is problem identification. Here we'll be using a software company, to identify why we have a decrease in customer satisfaction rating for our mobile application. Then what will be the objective? The objective will be to enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty by understanding and addressing customer needs effectively. That's in the define phase. Now let's go to the measure phase. What we'll do in the measure phase? First thing we'll do data collection, because data collection is very important. How we'll do it? We'll conduct survey, interview, and feedback analysis to gather customer preferences and the point that the customers is always concerned about. Then what we'll do with that? We'll do Kano analysis implementation. Here we'll utilize the Kano analysis concept to categorize the customer feedback into what? 3 categories. Must have, there's no way around it. One dimensional, will add value, and attractive attribute, which is really exceeding customer satisfaction. This will help us to do what? We'll be discovering factors that contributed to our customer dissatisfaction, and then we'll find an area of improvement. Also, we'll discover factors that will lead to customer concern, while basic functionality, the must-have was met. Why customer desire faster response time, which is the one-dimensional, and innovative features also, which is the attractive category. Those 2 the customers it's really concerned about. Now we gather the information through all these surveys and interview and analysis. Now let's go to analyze phase. Okay, and that's the phase. We'll be understanding where the problem is. First thing we'll do, root cause analysis. We identify those factors that contributed to the slow response time and why we have a lack of innovative features in our application. We'll include outdated technology. Maybe we have our system, our computers, our servers are old. Maybe we have limited development resources. We don't have that many innovative good guys, coders or whatever, or designers, understand our system. Those very important, because those where the Kano analysis will give us this information. Kano analysis will help us to recognize the potential to improve customer satisfaction by what? Addressing the one-dimensional, the time that the customer is concerned, and then an attractive attribute, which is what? Which is the extra features the customer is looking for. That is your edge, when you do the Kano analysis. It brings ideas that wasn't there from before. Now comes the improve phase. In the improve phase, what you will do first, your action plan. You allocate resources, to upgrade the infrastructure, and implement agile development practices to enhance the response time. That's what the customer is concerned about. Then you will have innovative initiative. You will launch what? A dedicated innovative team. Their job is to brainstorm and implement new features such as AI-driven recommendation and personalized experience, etc., to make your consumer actually, feel that your application has something different. Then you will come and integrate the Kano analysis into it, which will prioritize, improvement effort based on Kano analysis insight to maximize, of course, customer impact. All this has to go hand in hand, in order to understand how you can improve your service. Now, in DMAIC, we reach the control phase. After you have implemented all the necessary element or factors that will increase your customer satisfaction, which you found out that they are within the category of the dimensional and the excited as a benefit, not the must be, then you will improve on those 2 subjects for your customer in order to increase your customer satisfaction. You will implement, of course, here at this phase, a continuous monitoring response, to understand your customer, response time. Is it better now? Through, of course, the feedback. And then here you will incorporate, of course, the Kano analysis into regular review when you do your audit or when you do a management review meeting, to ensure the ongoing alignment, of course, with your customer preference. And also you will implement a quality control measure to what? To maintain improvement over time. It's very important because, you know, as you go, you need to improve, maybe in your resources, in your structure, in your system, etc., etc. You know, and then regularly you must update your progress and result to stakeholders and team members of your company in order for them to understand, you know, the stages that you are in right now. Now you have implemented, you know, a Kano analysis within the DMAIC framework, which is your software company. That was our case study. You effectively addressed customer needs and achieved significant improvement in customer satisfaction, loyalty, and competitive advantage. This example we just said demonstrate the practical application and benefit of leveraging Kano analysis in quality improvement initiative. What was the benefit when you did that within that company? First of all, you know, you increased customer satisfaction. Your response time improved by 30%, which led, of course, to a higher satisfaction rating. Then you enhance customer loyalty. Your introduction of innovative features, you know, resulted in what? 20% increase in app engagement and customer retention. And last but not the last information, you gained competitive advantage. You know, now you position yourself as a market leader in providing a user-friendly and innovative mobile app driven by customer acquisition and revenue growth. So you can see the benefit that you have gained out of it. In conclusion, what we have gained out of all this subject. First one, Kano Analysis. It's an easy and simple tool that could be integrated into the DMAIC phases to help you understand your customer needs and customer preferences and improve, you know, product quality. Also, it is a must, you know, and a significant tool in understanding customer needs for product or service success. Businesses that prioritize customer satisfaction through tools like Kano Analysis are more likely to succeed in the marketplace. And of course, now you need to take action and practice that Kano Analysis within your corporation to see the benefit of it and how successfully you can achieve goal that before wasn't, you know, looked at as an important factor in increasing your customer satisfaction. I hope this video was good for you to understand the concept, and I will see you in the next video in the future.